In this video, I'm going to give you a flavour of how to use website visitors data to increase inquiries about specific products or services that are offered on a website. The starting point is always to compare the level of inquiries gained to the levels of relevant website visitors during a chosen time period. In this example, we're going to look at a business that sells liquid filling machines to companies. If you look at this page, you'll see that their machines are used to fill containers with cosmetics and toiletries. During a time period, for example a month, the business would have received a certain level of new inquiries related to filling cosmetics and toiletries. Our objective is to see whether that was a good or poor level of inquiries compared to the visitors that got to that part of the website. Our starting point is to bring up a date range to analyse, for example, all of May. What we're going to do first of all is look at the pages visited within the website. And we're going to filter those results just by the people who got to this cosmetics and toiletries section of the website. If you look at the data here, it shows 375 total visits to that part of the website. However, that's not the number of visitors. If we tick that box and then click Show, you can see in the green bar 305 results. So there were 305 unique visitors who, as part of their journey to the website, would have got to that cosmetics and toiletries section. However, it would be a big mistake to compare the number of inquiries related to cosmetics and toiletries filling machines to the 305 total visitors. This is because we're looking at all visitors who got to that particular part of the website, but this particular company only targets people in certain countries. So what we're going to do is dig deeper into those visitors, and we're going to reduce these 305 to the relevant visitors to that part of the website. So we go to Advanced Filters, select that date range again, and now what we're going to do is we're going to pick out the page visited, which is the same as before. We're going to tick the box, click Set, and then Include and add the filter. But what we're going to do now is we're going to exclude visitors from some countries that they don't serve. For example, if we go to Country and start to type in United States, we set that and we say Exclude and add the filter. This means we want to see visitors who got to that part of the website, but we don't want to see the people who came from the United States, because that's not a place that they sell to. So now we click on Show Data to see what we've got. You can see here that we've now got only 218 results. This is 218 visitors from countries other than the United States, each of which got to that cosmetics and toiletries section of the website. We're going to look at a few more people in the results. Now we're just going to go through the results and get a general feel for how those visitors interacted with the website, specifically that page we're interested in. For example, these people from Cameroon came in from Google Ads, using a certain keyword phrase, went to the landing page and went no further. These people from Saudi Arabia started on a different page, went to this particular cosmetics page, and again didn't go any further. Running through the data like that, you start to get a feel for how these people are interacting with these pages. Sometimes you see them land on a particular page, spend a certain amount of time on another page, and basically back their way out of the website. But all the time that you're seeing this data, including those people that just go to the landing page and no further, you have to start asking questions about what's working and not working about that particular product or service. Unfortunately, a lot of people won't do this. They won't go through this whole process of understanding how these visitors went through their website one step at a time. If they're not going to do that, they're not going to get a good feeling for what's going on, and it's critical as part of the process of strengthening websites and getting more results from them. So what we're doing now is going back to this particular page. we know 218 visitors were potentially customers, and we know how many inquiries we got out of those 218. If that number's low, we have to start thinking about what the page might not be achieving. On the page you can see that it refers to different types of products that can be filled in that category. You can also get an indication of the types of people they've worked for, and there are some links to case studies here, each of which goes to a URL that's got /project in it. So let's look at the number of people who got to this page and got as far as one of these case studies. So we go back to the data, back to advanced filters, and what we're now going to do is add in page visited. I'm going to say /project, and we're going to see how many of those people got to any of these project pages. I'm going to include those and add the filter, and now show the data and see how many out of the 218 got that far. That gives us 42 of the visitors who, as part of their journey, went as far as any of the project pages, i.e. the case studies they could access from the page we were looking at. And that's only 19% of the total people who we think might have been relevant who actually got as far as looking at case studies. And of course we assume that case studies are going to be part of the process of encouraging them to make contact, because they can see examples of how those machines have been used to fill those particular products. So let's look at this another way. Let's go back to the filtering. And what we're going to do now is say exclude project. So we're now looking at people who got to the cosmetics and toiletries page, weren't from the United States, and who didn't get to any of the case studies. This gives us the 176 other visitors, some of which went to one page and no further, and others might have gone further into the website but ultimately didn't get as far as the case studies. So we have to start thinking about the data and what it actually means. What is putting these people off? One of the things that we do recommend you do is sometimes export data out to a CSV to look at in Excel, for example. So what we're going to do is we're going to export these 176 and look at them in a different way via Excel. So we'll click on this link here to export, start the export. That gives us a download link. We download the file and then we open it. So now it's exported. We've got 176 visitors who didn't get as far as the case studies pages. So what we're going to do is sort this by country, just to get a feel for where they're from. And what we're going to do is highlight all those that are non-UK, because we've got a feeling there's a problem with the non-UK visitors. So you've got 124 there to start with, and a couple more here. So 126 out of the 176 total were people from outside the UK who didn't get as far as the case studies pages. So we go back to the website and start to think about some of the issues there might be with this page and why it might put off people from other countries. At this point we've only got data, but data does give you an indication of what needs to be looked at in more depth, and the more you interrogate that data, the more you're going to work out where the problems are. So looking through this particular page, we know people from overseas come to this particular part of the website, and we know that the inquiry levels aren't what they should be. So let's put ourselves in their shoes. They've come to this website and they're interested in machines that fill cosmetics and toiletries. So they've got a bit of introductory text, quick link to case studies, some pictures that make it clear of the sort of things that can be filled, so they get a good feel from that. And they have got the opportunity to look at case studies. But there might be one particular question in their mind that's not being answered. They can easily see that it's a UK business, but they may be thinking about whether this business has dealt with people in their part of the world. If they scroll down, they can actually see a worldwide map, but at this stage it is only a map. It doesn't actually do anything else. Maybe those people who have visited this website from other countries might want to get more of a feel for who this business has supplied in their part of the world, because that's going to give them more of a reassurance to make contact. Obviously, this is just my interpretation of the data, but if you took this map down here, this worldwide reach type map, and you built it somewhere else into the page and gave it more of a focus, and within that it had some sort of a link that took people off to a section of the website that let them dig deeper into parts of the world that this business has supplied, and give specific examples within those, then that could give those people more reason to make contact with the business. It's unfortunate that there are a lot of businesses that do sell to overseas customers that don't focus on that overseas message. They do have case studies quite often, but they're not thinking about what the potential customers are thinking about. But let's look at this in another way. Let's look at a completely different page. Let's look at, say, the chemical sectors part of the website. Again, the filling machines are used to fill products with all sorts of liquids, in this case focusing on the chemical sector. So let's go off here again and let's go to advanced filters, reset everything we've done, pick a date range, and what we're now going to do is go to the page visited. I'm going to look at the people who got to the chemical sectors, and we're going to exclude those people from the United States again, because that's not the target market. This time we've got 112 results. 112 visitors got to that part of the website as part of their journey through. Now you'd compare those 112 during that time period to the number of inquiries gained, specifically related to people who want to fill chemicals, and you decide whether you're getting a good result from those website visitors. Sometimes you pick up gems of information just scrolling through the data. Looking at this, for example, there's a business who've done a Bing search, and in this case we can see specifically what they searched for, and they've actually had a good look through the website. And you can see they actually made contact here. So inquiry was gained. But they're from the UK. The potential buyer is in the same country as the supplier of the machines, so it's a much easier sale to make. However, they could have been someone from another country who typed a similar search phrase, and they might not have gone through the website in the same way because they didn't get a feeling that they could be served in their country. The point of this video is just to focus your attention on particular things that you want to sell more of. It could be a specific machine, for example. You might want to look at one particular machine, how many people got to that part of the website, and how many inquiries were gained as a result of that. But the nature of data is that it does need interpretation sometimes. We're always here to help everyone. Please do feel free to let us know if you'd like your data analysed in a bit more depth, and we'll point you in the right direction. I hope this has been useful. Thank you.